Hi, this is Dina with Pretty Productive. Welcome back to my channel. Today what I'm going to be doing is a June week 4 check-in, doing my month-end June balancing, and hopefully have a little bit of money left over in my envelopes to put some money into my 100 envelope challenge. So let's go ahead and get started. I didn't have a lot of transactions this week. A, I didn't have a lot of money left in my budget, and B, my husband's been out of town, so it's just been me. So it does, I do spend a lot less money when I'm just worrying about myself here. So just a kind of brief update on my transaction log. So I started here. This was my last transaction. The Walmart for $24 was my last transaction for last week. All of these transactions happened this week. So I think I just said I didn't spend a lot of money. I didn't spend a lot of money like going out and things like that. I of course spent a lot of money on vacation and household because I'm finishing out the nursery and getting ready for our vacation in July. So if it is highlighted in this kind of olive green, that is a sinking fund or envelope. Groceries, I had two. No, wait. What was last time? I had two. And then yellow is fixed expenses, and then pink is gas, and then in this really light color, that's still coming out of my Macari money. So if I flip to that page, I did pull out $900 from my Macari, and I am down to $169 left. So I'll probably just leave that into my checking account buffer. I don't think I need anything else. So let's go ahead and check in. So for groceries this week, I had $163 and $10. So the $163, because I did have so much money left in groceries, I did go ahead and stock up on some like toiletry things like lotion. I bought sunscreen for the trip. What else did I buy? I bought some paper products. So things I normally would have taken out of my household, I would have taken out, I took out of groceries because quite frankly, my household is pretty much empty. My household account. I'm gonna pull this back just a little bit. Okay. So 173 in groceries, and I had 298. So 298 minus 173 is 125 left over. In eating out, I had I went to QT and got a taquito. That reminds me of when my girls were in high school. $5. So I had $23 minus 5 of 18. I of course spent the whole 50 of spending. Actually, I have $5 in my wallet right now, so we're just gonna say all spent, so it's 0. Gas, I had one transaction of $67. So 184 minus 67 is 117. Now I probably would have spent more, but my husband did fill up my tank while I was out of town. So that's $70 that I ended up not spending. So I'm going to keep it at my regular amount of $250 because that's been about right. Personal care, I did not spend anything, so there's $130 left. My mom, I didn't spend anything, so it's $100. Entertainment, I spent $28. I took my daughter to Applebee's, so $28, so $2 left. Miscellaneous, I did not spend anything. Medicine, I did not spend anything. And household is empty. So not too bad of a month, actually. So let's go ahead and pull back what I need to take out for back to bank, because I am trying to figure out what I need to pull for the month of July. And I can only do that if I do this project first. It's not that one. It is this one. Okay, so out of groceries, I need to pull 173. 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 150, 170, 2, 3. So I should have 125 left. 20, 40, 60, 80, 110, 25. Okay. Love when that happens. So I'm just going to put this to the side right now and see what I'm going to do with that. So I'm going to add this money because now it's all back to bank. So everything I have over here is either back to bank money or some money that I had to pull knowing that I was going to be doing this video. Not this video, but my next video. So for eating out, I just need to pull 5. So I'll put 20 in. And take back 15, so it gives me 18. That is correct. I'll put that over here. Gas is online entertainment, so 28. I'll put 28 here and take 2 back out. Okay, so for personal care, miscellaneous, and my mom, I am going to just keep those in here and roll them over. So when you see my July budget setup, you're gonna know what happened in my budget. So I really needed to not put that money into my savings challenge. I needed to put that money, to keep that money in here, so I did not need to replenish those envelopes because I really couldn't make the budget work with replenishing the envelope. So, but again, I'll explain that a little bit more as we get into the into July's budget setup. And then for this money, I am going to take out $60 because that is what I'm short for cash stuffing, and I don't want to have to go to the bank for $60. So I'm going to take that 60 out and put it into that. And that leaves me, I know I count this really strangely. So that leaves me with 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 85 to do the savings challenge. And I just realized I do not have my Sharpie pen. I did go ahead, I think what I'm gonna do next year, I love the Erin Condren binder, the monthly deluxe. I've used it for years. It's been a great tool. But at the end of the year, which I do like to save these, I'm just running out of room to store them between, I have this one, I have my memory planner, my Hobonichi cousin, my Hobonichi week. So I end up with this huge box of planners for the year, and I'm just literally running out of room. So I either choose to go ahead and go with the book again and then just throw it at the end of the year, or do I maybe look more into like printables and use a happy planner. So I'm kind of going back and forth. I did reformat the savings challenge to fit into both classic and regular happy planner. Those are going to be listed onto my shop, and then as well as all the other forms that I do, as well as some other ones that I've created that you could just download and use and kind of create your own planner. So depending on which forms you need, if you need a transaction or you need a debt log or anything like that, a weekly check-in, then you could just download and then print them as you need them. So I went ahead and started with this one because I really don't like doing it this way. I don't like having to highlight through. I just would rather highlight it on a piece of paper. So, but this one's laminated, so I'm kind of stuck with that for right now until I redo this. So that being said, let's go ahead and get some of these little ones out of the way. So this is the 100 envelope challenge. If you're not familiar with it, I did go ahead and make the envelopes, and then I do have stickers in my shop, which I will say is by far my #1 selling listing is the 100 envelope challenge. So it's 5 sheets, 1 through 100 stickers that are about 1 inch tall, and depending on if it's a double digit, it's about 1 inch wide, and they're on clear sticker paper, so you can just plop it onto your own envelopes or whatever you're using for this challenge. I did notch it just because I like to see the cash that is inside. So I'm gonna do the $1 one. I very rarely have singles left. And I still am almost done with finishing out the one I'm going to use for a giveaway. They are very time intensive, so I know a lot of people are like, oh, are you going to make them for your shop? I'm like, I just don't know that. I don't know if what I could sell them for would be worth the time, and I wouldn't want to charge more than I would have to, but you know, I don't know. Okay, so we're gonna do 7. 6, 7. Okay, so that is it for my ones. So I did 1, 2, and 7. And then let's see here. I've already done 40. I have not done 50 or 25. Okay, so we're gonna do 50 and 25. Now I did these little tabs on here just to kind of break up the by 10, just for my own ease of finding these. So this is the 50. And then 25. 24, 25. So 25. So I have not been able to put a lot into this savings challenge so far. My savings challenge from 2021 that I finished, or no, 2022. I did a savings challenge in 2021 that was more of a 52-week challenge, and there was a set amount every day, so that every week, so you would do 5,000. With this one, the first year I did this particular challenge was in 2022, and I actually did a box with tabs, if you remember that one, and that is the $5,000 plus more money that is paying for our beach house for this summer. So I do look at like a fun way to save for something big, whether it be a vacation or an item or whatever you want to do. It's just kind of fun to do, and that helps me to kind of try not to spend things in my envelope so that I can go ahead and fund this savings challenge. Okay, so this one is done. And then everything else in here, I'll mark that later. Everything else in my binders have been updated. So just to kind of go through a little bit of what I need to do at the end of the month before I can set up my new budget. If you are new to my channel at all, you will kind of wonder how I get the information from my budget. And if you've been here for a while, you totally understand the way my process is. So I have a lot of sinking funds. My sinking funds are part envelope, part online. So if it is a big thing that I'm saving for a long time, like Christmas or car tags and like that, it's an online account with Capital One, and I just transfer the money over there. If it is something that is like date night or birthdays, and I know I'm gonna be in and out of those and I want it to be cash, then those are envelopes. So at the end of the month, I go through and I write in my beginning balance. So that is where I started in June minus what I spent in that fund in June, and that becomes my new balance, so that when I'm going to calculate my expenses or my sinking funds where I'm kind of funneling that money, I take a look at here, what needs to be funded, what's due soon, how much do I need, and that's how I figure out what I need. So these are my balances. I'm just gonna highlight a few that just took a huge hit. One was vacation. I did have $5,000 in here, but I paid the second half of the beach house, which was about $3,300. So I now have $1,809. I have put a placeholder in here of what I would like to fund that with, but I have not finished my July budget yet. And then these are the other ones. Nothing took as big of a hit as that one. And then over here I have my ones that are like my homeowner's insurance that I'm putting money away for. It's due in July. Property taxes aren't due until October. So I've got a little more time with that one, but I am like dividing that number out so that I know in October I have the money, then I'll have the money in April, and then the money the next October. Car insurance is also due in July, so I already know what I'm having to spend there. Some of these like birthdays, my birthday and my daughter's birthday are both in July, so I need those fully funded by the beginning of July, and then I'll start over in August. Some of the other birthdays are a little bit later in the year. And then some of these were not a priority, like Valentine's Day, my anniversary's in February, Easter, which I don't know if it's March or April this year, but I'll have to look at that. You know, those are ones that I'll probably start funding in December, just so that I have that money put away. That is my process at the end of the month. Besides balancing my cash envelopes to my expenses, clearing my credit card, which sometimes, I gotta tell you, it sneaks up on me. I usually do a mid-month payment, and then I kind of wait till the end of the month and I make that final payment. Though I do use a check register, and I write it out on my check register at the beginning of the month. So if, for an example, between my fixed expenses and my envelopes that are online, like online groceries, online gas, medicine, you know, all those things that I know I'm gonna use my credit card for and then need to pay back, I add all that up, put a buffer or cushion on there, and then I write that out like it's already spent. And then when I split up the payment, I just kind of move it around in my checking account and then rebalance it to say, okay, if I said $3,000 is what I needed to put on my card at the end of the month to clear it, then I'll make a mid-month $1,500 payment, and then at the end of the month, hopefully that other $1,500 that's put away is enough. This time it went over a little bit, but that was just because I had some expenses come up that really kind of should have been unbudgeted, or they should have come out of my general sinking funds, but I had enough in my cushion that I was just like, I'm gonna go ahead and pay it and leave the money in my sinking funds. So, you know, my choice on that one, but you know, technically I should have taken it from the category that they belong to, but I really didn't have money to that category, so that's why I made the decision that I did. It's also why I keep a nice healthy buffer in my checking account so that I don't stress if it is another $300 or $400 I need to pull out, or if I don't take the money back to the bank. I have a lot of money. I was almost 100% able to fund my envelopes for the month of July out of my back to bank. So I wasn't needing to pull money out. So, you know, that to me is a win. So I'm not going to the bank pulling money out and then putting money back. So it just makes it a little bit easier. So once I decide and I go through here, I then start to plug in numbers of where I think I need to add for the next month. That will change based on my expenses, you know, like my fixed expenses or my variable fixed expenses, my, you know, that I have to pay every month or that are due this month. And then I may lower or raise them based on what I can really put in there. So that's why the money for my mom, money for miscellaneous became, you know, rollover money, because I didn't have the money, that $200, just to roll it back into those envelopes. So it wasn't worth it to me to put those into the savings challenge and then feel like my budget was really tight. So I think that is everything for this video. I think overall a good month. I always like to take a moment at the end of the month and kind of do my key learnings. My key learning for this month really was I pretty much knew all the things that were gonna hit that were big for this month. I knew that I was gonna do the nursery, so I had been building up household. I did use a $500 gift card that I had. I cashed in Fetch Rewards, so that was $100 on Amazon. I put both of those on Amazon, and that's where a lot of the items that I ordered came from. So those were paid for out of those gift cards, so it didn't have to come all the way out of my budget. The rest of the items I bought, the changing table from Wayfair. I did buy some furniture for that room, which I didn't take out of my nursery budget. That came out of my household. Just a lot of little moving parts to that budget, and I'm very happy that at this point everything is paid for. The only thing I still need to purchase is a glider for that room, and they are very expensive. I'm kind of hoping something goes on sale for Prime Days, but probably not going to happen. So that is the one thing I have left for the room. But again, you know, I feel more comfortable personally in my budget is to look ahead enough that I'm not trying to do that and then try to figure out where the money comes from. I'd rather figure out where the money is and then figure out the time that's gonna work the best. So for me, I wanted to do it this week while my husband was gone because I've been promising to do it for months, probably a year, probably over a year. So I'm kind of surprising him with getting it done. So I think that's it. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you are doing great on your budget as well. If you have not done so already, please consider subscribing and hit the alert for future videos. Take care and have a great week.